at a national level, they come up with a sort of policy that sounds tough, and they think it'll have a big impact. It's visual. And so they just dump more money onto building this 15-foot high solid metal fence. And then they feel like they can sort of wipe their hands clean. Like, well, I did my task for border security. I've made our nation secure. Post September 11th, right? There's suddenly this sort of electrical sort of thing that just diffused throughout the country, where we suddenly needed to be able to, or at least policymakers needed to be able to say that they were taking a tough stand on security. So the split now isn't one just of people saying, oh, well, we don't value life, we don't care about Mexicans, so that's why this policy just persists. Is you talk to policymakers and they say, okay, I have this dichotomy. It's security or it's life. And a policymaker makes a calculated decision about, I need to tell my constituents who contribute, and interests, right, who contribute to my campaign, constituents who will vote for me, that I have been tough on security. Or do I worry about folks who have lost their life coming across the border, who are not my constituents, who don't vote, who don't make contributions to my or my competitor's campaign? And that's a decision that they'll make. And we know almost inherently they're going to side with their own sort of local interest in what will continue to sustain their power. It's much more convenient if there's always somebody who's underneath you, who's one or two rungs down the ladder from you. It makes us feel better. Like, oh, well, I've continued to succeed and at least I'm better off than that person. I might be struggling, but I'm not like that. And that is sort of this dynamic, be it as a result of kind of competitiveness, or be it as a result of capitalism, or be it as a result of kind of just our sort of economic system. It tends to sort of pit us against other people and not look for how, in fact, working together we can go above and beyond what I could ever do as an individual. It's more of just every man, woman, and child for himself. The wall is just one of the most visual representations of this just basic, lack of understanding of what the realities are along the border, what the nature of our relationship actually is with Mexico, and what the relationships of migrating countries and migrants in this country are. It's baffling. I mean, we had members of Congress tell us in 2005, I think, was when there was this new legislation that came up. It was called the Secure Fence Act, and it had mandated the construction of hundreds of miles of new fence along the U.S.-Mexico border. Many of them said to us, oh, don't worry about it. This wall stuff, it's just a show. No one's actually going to vote for it because it's absurd. But they did vote for it. And now we're at a point where they are finishing up, essentially walling off the entire border, save 60 miles, and in some areas putting in double and triple walls.